could probably go right from the goalkeeper to any one of the front three in terms of picking out your most important player. That's what I'm asking the question. I'll start with you, Michael.
I'm going to go for Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, well, that's...
Goes against my principles, back in the defender. But what can you say? I mean, there's nothing like him in world football, in my opinion. I mean, if you think of every attribute that you need as a centre-half, I mean, he's got pace, he's got the reading of the game, he's got strength, he's got great communication, ability on the ball with his passing, durability, he's never, ever injured. I mean, he's even awesome in the opponent's box, you know, he scores goals. There is nothing that this guy can't do. And when I look around the Liverpool team, there's players that are absolutely at the top of their tree in world football. But you could argue the goalkeeper's the best in the world. You could argue Sadio Mane is the best in the world. It is. But this fella is just like head and shoulders above anything in the world of football.
Literally as well, actually.
Yeah, quite literally.
Except for Peter.
in terms of in his position, there is nobody even close to him in the world of football as good. Yeah. And I mean, he's always fit. He's always there. He's playing at the top of his game constantly. You know, you could argue, you're right, you could argue about so many players, but this guy is different.
Yeah, from a quick central defender's perspective, what I notice about him is that you never see him on his backside.
Yeah, he stays on his feet. I always used to use that hashtag. Always, stay on your feet. He epitomises that. Yeah. And I agree with everything that Michael said there. And one thing he's added to his game, which I was asking about last season, was passing the ball forward. And now he's a threat. I'm sure in other teams' team talks that will come up, that ball straight over the top of the opposing defenders. He's looking for that now, which is great.
So obviously we didn't allow you to all have the same person. So have you gone for Rio?
I never thought I'd be sitting here saying this, but Jordan Henderson. I think he's gone to levels that I don't think many people would have expected him to get to. He's taken the armband, the responsibility at Liverpool after an iconic figure like Steven Gerrard and warmed to it like anybody would have imagined. His performances when someone like Fabinho has been out injured, who everyone probably was saying was the best midfielder they had from last season and beginning of this season, when he went out of the team, this guy went to another level. And so, I mean, he does everything now. He passes, he's scoring goals at times now. But what I think is an important factor he's got above all the other players that we can mention in this team is his influence on the pitch, but his influence around the training ground.
Leader.
He leads, and I think he's somebody who will influence others. He will not allow standards to drop. He will demand standards to be high in training on a daily basis, and I think that can never be underestimated, because without that type of person in the training ground on a daily basis, around the hotel, when they're travelling, on the pitch during the 90 minutes that we see at Anfield and other places, you're not going to be successful.
Has he surprised us all?
Yeah, I think
so.
When he first signed, I think he felt he was sort of lucky to be at Liverpool, and I think now it's got to the point now where Liverpool are lucky to have him. I think he's been, as Rio said, a top leader. He's looking forward more now. You know, it was a criticism of he used to play safe. He's looking forward. He's setting up attacks. He's breaking up play. He's so influential in that midfield.
And now you could, in a way, mention him in the same breath as Steven Gerrard, the person it was so difficult to follow. Obviously,
if you're talking about influence on the team, I couldn't disagree with the lads. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and his influence on the team, yes, you can talk about him in the same breath as Steven Gerrard. When you're talking about actual quality as a footballer, then Steven Gerrard is in a different world to virtually everyone, let alone Jordan Henderson. So I agree with Rio. I mean, if the question is influence on a team, Jordan Henderson has to be up there.
Peter, your turn.
Sadio Mane for me.
Mane ahead of the front two.
Yeah, just the key.
I thought you'd go for me. I don't know why, but
really, well, I do. It's so hard to separate them all. And the arguments, Van Dijk, I think, as a signing, the fullbacks. I mean, you know, we could go all day. Salah, we haven't even mentioned Salah. He gets 30 goals a season. The goalkeeper, but Mane for me, I just think he's the key that unlocks the door when they can't unlock it. I think it was epitomised by the game at Norwich. They brought him on, and no one could score that goal that he scored there. He plucked the ball out of the air and finished unbelievably well. I mean, from a standing start, he can go from 0 to 100 in a split second. He's got that little waggle of the foot, and he's gone. I just think he's gone up a level since he signed from Southampton. I thought he was a good player, but now he's the world's best.
There's a few decent players in that position. I mean, obviously there'd be Ronaldo, Neymar. Would you put him ahead of them at the moment? Even Cristiano's, you know. He's 35,
Listen,
so you probably
the fact that you're mentioning him with those players just shows how much he's come on. He came from Southampton for a lot of money. He's gone to a whole different level now, and I just think that he is the difference when a game's tight. In a game like today's, he's tailor-made for him.